Hello everybody, welcome to the Wonky Angle, where I talk about electronic music, both new and old. And today, I just got back from seeing Max Cooper live. And yeah, it was a fun time. So yes, Max Cooper, founder of the Mesh label. I've been a fan of him for a couple of years now. Really been more of a fan of his label than him in particular. Max Cooper himself has released several legit excellent albums, although it feels like every other one is the one that really clicks for me, and then the others are just they're good, but not complete home runs or anything. But there was almost a little part of me who was almost looking more forward to what his opening act was gonna be, because I have been so consistently impressed by the talent that he brings on for his Mesh label. People like Rob Clouth and Reed Willis and Lear and Alex Banks and etc. etc. He did not bring any of those names on for the opening act. I think the name he brought on was Bo Wanzer. That was not someone I had heard of, and don't quote me on the name. Someone showed me their Instagram account while I was talking to them before the set started. But yeah, speaking of which, before the set started, I had a nice long chat with this one guy who recognized me. Was a regular viewer of the channel, apparently, has been watching since the really early days. We were talking rival consoles and Ilian tape, and so that was fun. So shout out to that guy. Nice talking to you. We traded some recommendations. I'll have to check out some of the stuff he showed me. But yeah, the opening acts, they were fine. It was just a pretty standard DJ set kind of thing. There was some good stuff in there, but don't really have much to say about them. So as for Max Cooper himself, getting on topic here. So yeah, his set was pretty interesting. Obviously, the main draw of his live sets are the visuals. The fact that he has his 4D setup, which is basically he has a screen behind him and a screen in front of him, and then you can see through the screen in front of him, so the visuals kind of work together, I guess, and kind of do some optical illusion type stuff if you're at the right angle, maybe. It looks pretty dang cool. And as for the music, that was also pretty interesting, because his set started out completely ambient, circling through a couple of his ambient tracks, and then as the set went on, he went into some of his more abstract tracks, and then the set kind of evolved into becoming just kind of a standard house DJ set by the end of it, or perhaps by the end of it. I'm gonna be honest, I actually had to leave a little early in order to catch the train, so I unfortunately did not get to see how his set ended. Editing Tommy here the next morning to mention that it was actually kind of eye-opening to see some of the guys house-leaning tracks and the kind of more rival consoles-y stuff in his catalog, which I've gone on record in reviews as wowing me less than his more abstract IDM tracks. In this context, I got to see him segue a lot of the tech houseier tracks together and get their ideas to interact with each other, which I think allowed me to appreciate those cuts in a way that I wouldn't have if they were just taken on their own. But I can show you the footage that I happened to capture. I should also mention I wasn't able to actually identify every track he played. I am not nearly in-depth enough of a Max Cooper fan to be able to name tracks by ear. There were several moments of the concert where I was trying to use Shazam to help me. Sometimes it got it, other times it was just getting me absolutely nowhere and pulling up random people's stuff. It is also entirely possible that not every track he played was his. I'm fairly certain he played his remixes of other people's tracks at some points. But again, I don't know. If you recognize the tracks I wasn't able to credit, or I miscredited some of these, feel free to mention it in the comments or something. yeah, that's what I got of Max Cooper Live. Yeah, this was a fun time. I can recommend checking this guy out if you haven't heard of him. His new album On Being also is worth checking out. I think that album has a pretty decent shot at having a spot on my year-end list somewhere. It's still been holding up. Just a lot of really cool random abstract ideas and bangers and whatnot. So check his album out and go see him live if you feel so inclined. So yeah, this was a fun evening, and that's all I got to say. That's all for today. See you next time.